All right, let's talk about money. Today, we're going to dive into some really powerful ideas that pretty much challenge everything we've been taught. We're going to get into the core principles of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and really look at the mental software that separates wealthy people from, well, everyone else. Let's do this. So let me just start with this question. What if the real reason most people struggle financially isn't because they don't work hard enough, but because the blueprint they're using is just flawed? This one question is the key to rewiring your entire financial brain. It's designed to make you stop and question everything you thought you knew. Come on, think back. Does any of this sound familiar? Money doesn't grow on trees. Or the big one, we can't afford that. Now, look, they meant well, but according to this way of thinking, those are poor people's phrases. They actually program our brains for scarcity and limits right from the get-go. So this whole philosophy comes from Robert Kiyosaki's childhood, where he basically had two dads. And they both lived in the same town, had the same opportunities, yet one of them died broke, while the other became one of the richest men in Hawaii. The big question is how? How does that even happen? You'd think the smart guy with PhD would be the rich one, right? I mean, poor dad was brilliant, worked incredibly hard his whole life. But the real difference, the thing that literally shaped their entire financial destinies, it wasn't education. It was just their mindset, their fundamental beliefs about how money actually works. And this, right here, might be the single most important mindset shift you can ever make. Seriously. I can't afford it is a full stop. It tells your brain, okay, we're done here, shut down. But asking, how can I afford it? Well, that's a question. It's a starting pistol. It forces your brain to wake up, to get creative, and to start hunting for solutions. One is a closed door, the other kicks that door right off its hinges. Okay, so once your mind is open to finding a way, the very next step is to learn the language of money. And honestly, the two most important words in that entire language are assets and liabilities. If you get this wrong, nothing else matters. But if you get it right, it's the foundation for everything. It is literally that simple. Forget all the complicated, jargon-filled definitions for a second. In this world, if something generates cash and puts it into your pocket month after month, it is an asset. Period. Think of it like a little money machine that you own. And on the flip side, you've got liabilities. If it costs you money every single month just to own it, it takes money out of your pocket. That's a liability. Simple, clean, no gray area. And you know what? This is exactly where most of us get tripped up. What do we show you? And here it is, the idea that just blows people's minds. Your house is not an asset. Why? Because you have a mortgage, insurance, taxes, repairs. It is constantly sucking money out of your pocket. That makes it a liability. Now, a rental property that you own where the rent covers all the costs and pays you a profit, that's an asset. Your car, liability. Stocks that pay you dividends, asset. Getting this one thing right is the whole game. And this quote just nails it. This is the core behavior. Wealthy people use their money to buy things that make more money. It's a cycle. Everyone else spends their money on things that just drain their bank accounts. And the craziest part is, they often think they're making a smart investment. So let's zoom out a little bit. It's not just about what you buy. It's about the entire system you're operating in to make your money in the first place. This is the next level. Okay, this is called the Cashflow Quadrant, and something like 95% of the population lives on the bottom half. As an E for employee or an S for self-employed, you're trading your time for money. If you stop working, the money stops. But the wealthy, they live on the top half. As a B for business owner, you own a system that makes money for you. And as an I for investor, your money works for you. You don't have to. So true financial freedom isn't about having a six-figure salary. It's about building income streams on that B and I side, income that shows up whether you get out of bed or not. That's when your assets are paying your bills, not your job. And here's another system the wealthy use that most people don't even know about. As an employee, you earn money, then the government immediately takes their cut through taxes, and you have to survive on what's left. But a corporation, it earns money. Then it spends money on all its expenses, and only then does it pay taxes on whatever is left over. Just changing the order of operations makes a gigantic difference to your wealth. So here's the unavoidable truth, right? Our school system, it's designed to create good employees, not savvy investors. It teaches you how to work hard for money, but it doesn't teach you a single thing about how to make money work for you. That education, your financial IQ, that's 100% on you. No one's coming to save you. So we've talked about the mindset, we've talked about the systems, but none of that matters if you don't do anything with it. So let's get practical. Let's talk about what you can actually do to start building your own path to freedom. When you're looking for a job, what's the first thing you look at? The salary, right? Most people work to earn, but the rich dad mindset is to work to learn. They ask, what skills will this job give me? They'll take a low-paying job in sales, not for the commission, but to master the art of selling. See, skills like that, sales, marketing, leadership, those are the real assets that build your future. And then there's fear. The fear of failure, the fear of losing money. It paralyzes people. But let's reframe risk for a second. The source material argues that the real gamble, the biggest risk you can possibly take, is to play it safe your whole life, to trade 40 years for a paycheck and end up with nothing. From that point of view, taking a calculated risk and trying something new is actually the safest thing you can do. All right, time for homework. This is how you make it real. Number 1, track every dollar for 30 days. You have to know where your money is going. 2, be brutally honest and list out your assets and liabilities. 3, commit to your education, one financial book a month. 4, just take one small action, build some momentum. And finally, starting right now, every time you catch yourself thinking, I can't afford it, you stop and you force yourself to ask, how can I afford it? You know, when you boil it all down, your bank account is really just a mirror reflecting your thoughts about money. It's not about how much you make, it's about how you think. The roadmap is right here. The choice is yours. So the only real question left is, are you willing to change your mind?